All right, guys, we are going to be doing word processing activity number 16 today. It is a little bit tricky. It's not as, the next one we're going to do, number 17, is trickier, but this is all things that we've already done before, so it should not be too big of a deal. You're going to be creating something that looks like this. It is a reading log, just a sample reading log, and yours should look something like this. Yours will look a little different because your cells will probably be go down further on the page or whatever, but this is generally what it's going to look like. The trickiest part about this one is making this cell bigger using the Google Docs. It's a little trickier to make your cells bigger, but I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps. So I'm going to open up the document. Now what I'm going to do this time, guys, the instructions, you're not going to see the instructions. I'm going to move the instructions over onto my other monitor. But if you're doing this in the classroom or if you're doing this at home, make sure you split your screen so that you have half your instructions over here and your document over on whatever side you're most comfortable doing. So I'm going to move mine over onto my other screen, and I'm going to go ahead and open up a brand new document. And I'm going to go through the steps with you guys. There's only 11 steps, and they're really not that difficult. So we'll just go through them one by one. So what we're going to be doing is using tables and borders. We're going to be adding clip art. We're going to be changing the font size and alignment, and we're going to be coloring in cells. So step number one, you open up your Google Doc. You're going to type your name in activity 16 and then hit enter 2 times. So let me do that. Whoop. Activity 16, 1, 2. All right, now we have to hit the center align button. That is step number 2, right there. And we want to type the title reading log in capital letters, and it says using font size 20 and bolding it. So we can go ahead and increase the font size to 20. And I'm going to hit bold, and I put cap locks on, and we're going to go reading log. Then I'm going to unclick bold. I'm going to go back down to hit enter 3 times, it says. You might have to do some adjustments after this too. Step number 3, you're going to change back to left alignment, and you're going to go ahead and put it to font size 12. Whoop. One of the things too, guys, is this space between the cell and the title, we might have to change just so it all fits on one page, but that's not a big deal. And you can always just keep going back and forth to the sample like this to kind of see what yours is supposed to sort of look like. Okay? All right, next step. Insert a new table with 20 rows and 16 columns. So you go to insert, and now remember, rows go up and down. So we need 16 of those. So we go to insert, table, and we need to go 16 across. Right there. And then 20 down. All the way to 20 and then back over to 16. So 16 by 20, like that. And there we go. All right. So, and you can see it went onto the other page. So one of the things you can do too is just go up here and hit the backspace. I don't mind if it's right underneath reading log like that. That's fine. So that gives you a little bit of space at the bottom too, because we do have to put a picture underneath there. All right, the big problem here. You got to fit your name in this first cell. So what we have to do now, it's a little bit more difficult to do on this program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in this box. I'm going to count over like 5 or 6. And then I'm just going to grab each of these lines and just kind of squish them and make them so that eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get over to this one. And it should be big because I want to be able to fit my name in here. Now these all look silly because they're smaller, but I'm going to show you guys how to fix that out. So I'm going to type in my name. Whoop. And I'm going to type in my full name, so for those of you that didn't know my name. All right, so we can do it that way. Now, if your name's really long, you could do it like that so that you can see it fits on 2 things like that. That's absolutely fine too. Now, if I want all these cells to be the same width again, it's really easy to do. I highlight them, and then I right-click, and then I go to something called Distribute Columns. So what that'll do is it resizes everything. So you can see everything is the same size again. Okay, so that is step number 5. Almost. We're not quite done step number 5. So next thing I'm going to do is we need to put our numbers from 1 to 15 in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's our numbers. That's pretty simple. And so that's step 5. So we're almost halfway there. Number 6 is to add a picture of a book down at the bottom, a clip art picture. So I'm going to go over to Insert, Image, search the web. I'm going to type in book, clip art, like so. And let's see. I'll choose this one. Insert. You're going to notice that it's going to be, oh my goodness, what did I do? See what I did? I accidentally put it in the cell. So I'm going to unclick. I need to click underneath the cell before I do that. That was kind of weird. All right, let's try that again. Book clip art. Yes, we did that. I want to select this one. Insert. Now it'll be too big. You're going to notice. All right, so it's on the next page. So what do? We shrink it, just like we've been doing in class. I'm going to make it small, and I want to wrap the text. So I go to the middle button there, and there we go. So it fits right up here. I'm going to put it in the center of my page. Oops, and you're going to notice that I need to drag it down. There we go. Might have to resize it a little bit too. There we go. So it fits on the page. So that is step number 6. Step number 7 is just telling us that we're going to be making adjustments. So number 8, they want us to go to the last row and merge these cells. So we want all these little lines to disappear to make it one long rectangle. So I highlight the cells, and I right click again, and I go to the merge cells, just like that. All right, and then it says merge the cells of the entire row just below the name and number row. So again, up here, highlight, and I'm showing you the quick, easy way to merge cells. There's another way you can do it by going up to Format, but I'm just going to show you the easy way. So we're going to right click, merge cells. And there we go. Number 9, so this line right under here needs to be wider. So what we need to do is it's the top of this big cell. So we're going to go to, when you're in the cell, you go to this little pull down thing to select the border. So we want the border, which is going to be the top of this cell. So if I click on this down, I'm going to select this one right here. Okay, so it's the top border. So I'm going to press it, and you can see it turns blue. So now I can go up here and change the width, and I'm going to make it 3. And there we go. And again, go back and double check. You can see that it's looking like the example, other than the text or the font style that I chose. Other thing, let's see. Number 10, we want to shade or paint in the name and number row red. Okay, so our paint bucket. So I'm going to go up here to the row. I'm going to highlight the entire row, and there's our paint bucket, and I want to make it red. Now I'm not going to make it dark red. I'm going to make it kind of like a light red so that it's easy to see through. There we go. Back to the example. Pretty similar. Then this is where it's a little tricky. Our last step is we want to make this black box in the middle. And if you look here, you don't have to have it exactly like the size that this one is. You know, you can see that I'm under the number 4 and then under the number 9 across, and then it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and it doesn't really matter how big it is. So I'm gonna at least do that. I'm gonna go from here, and then I hold my button down. I'm gonna drag it to under the 9 like that, and I'm gonna go up to my paint bucket, and there we go. All right, then I'm gonna go down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that. Paint bucket, black. And I just do the same thing across to match them all up. It's a lot easier when they're all in a row like this. Highlight them, black. All right, so far so good. Back to the example. Now I just want to do this checkerboard pattern in the center using the color red, probably the same red that I used up here. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to just click on one, and this one, it's a little more tedious. You're just going to click on every other one. There's no quick way to do this one. There might be, I just don't know what it is. I think this is about the quickest you can do it now. So doing it like this. All right. And there we go. So that's all. That's everything, all the way down to step number 11. I got everything in here. If I go back to my example, got my center title, got my name, got the red line, got the thick line on there. We've got the black square with the checkerboard inside, picture of a book underneath, merged cells, and we are done. All right, good luck.